Hi guys, welcome to Windsome Cottage Garden. My name is Hannah and I'm so glad that you decided to join me today. We're here in the city garden and we are continuing our series of prepping my garden in order to get my house on the market. If you missed the video where I talked about some of the changes, I'm going to link it here. This is also probably the second video in a series that you'll see. The first one, you might know this is actually being filmed during this one. So you might see some projects in the background that you've already seen completed in the last video I posted. So there's just a lot of hive of activity going on today. A lot of my family is here helping me get stuff ready. Well, it's a weekend and we've got lots of workers. Many hands make light work and I'm really grateful that they're here helping me. In today's video, I'm actually going to be pulling some plants out that I want to take to my new house. I think I may have mentioned this in the moving video, but my understanding is while not 100% necessary, it is better to have plants that you plan to remove from the garden gone before you list a house. I don't really have timeline and anything set right yet, but I am just in that prep mode so that if I need to move quickly, I can. I actually filmed some stuff yesterday that I'm going to include in this video, so I will pop that in just a minute. And then you're going to see me go into what I'm starting this morning, which is actually working on this area right here. There's a couple of things I want to take out there, and since I'm already in the area, I'll probably be dividing some of the plants in that area that I know I want to divide as I move things around. If you're just dividing plants, that doesn't have to be done before you list a house. Most people don't care. So I'm trying to focus my efforts on what is necessary, and then I'll slowly work towards the dividing videos as well. But since I'm already in the area and possibly shifting things here and there, I'm just going to do that if I'm in there and something needs to be divided. With that being said, I'm going to insert a clip of something we actually finished last night where we took some roses that I'd been thinking I was going to do cuttings, but I decided I just wanted the plants and the structures they were on. So I'll insert that here and then we'll dive into this before showing you what the finished I guess I should show you what it looks like right now. Okay, so this is actually the area I'm going to be taking a number of plants in here, and I'm also going to be moving some stuff around. I do want to divide these guys, but I'm going to wait to do that. It might be the only thing I'm going to wait to do. But we're going to just kind of free up some space so this, though full and still beautiful, doesn't look quite as intimidating at first glance. So let's dive in. So this is the portion I actually filmed the day before. And while to me, there's a giant hole right here where the Bathsheba David Austin rose used to be. I don't know if you didn't know that was there, that you're gonna miss it up against the house. There's a lot of white right here, but we've got this beautiful red bud that hopefully will kind of pop a branch over here in time. And it makes it a lot easier to access things in this area. The other thing that you probably saw me do is I took this pinwheeled phlox, which needed to be deadheaded, and I divided it into a number of pieces. There were 3 pretty good stands, and I broke 2 of them into 2 and popped them into the holes I created by taking out, well, some of the holes that I created by taking out the rows. So in this area over time, there'll be this really big swath of phlox, and there'll still be poppies and stuff up front, as well as the beautiful iris. So I don't think that you're gonna really miss anything right here at all. I think it's looking really good. And we did get some stuff over here. It's not completely done yet, as you can see. And then we actually spent a lot of time over here. Okay, so let's talk about what we did in this bed. And some things are looking a little sad. I have watered them. I'll continue to water them and they will bounce, but they're gonna be a little bit dramatic for a little while. I ended up pulling the Peachy Keen rose out, and I thought it created a bit of a hole that I needed something shady in. So I popped this hosta from this area over here. I had one that I didn't really care if I brought or not, and it needed to be divided. So I took a chunk and popped it here because I think it'll provide a really bright pop and focal point, which is a plant that a lot of people are familiar with and won't be intimidating. Because again, one of the goals I had not only was taking plants that I knew I wanted in my new space, but also making a little room so you didn't just see this wall of flowers, which I love, obviously. I've actually already started editing this video, and it makes me a little sad to see how good it looked right at the beginning of the video, where it was like this overabundance of color and leaves and textures, and it did look so good. And it will still look really good. In some ways, I don't think you're gonna miss that I took a number of plants out of here, but it gives opportunities for the new owners. If they are like me and they want to garden, it gives them spaces to put things. Or if they're a little intimidated by this, because it's so thickly planted, that's not something for everybody. And I need to create some space. And that's what I did. So I popped this hosta in there so it's not this gaping hole, and it provides a nice anchor point in there. I also moved the White Wands Veronica back a little bit into this space, and I did trim it. This is about half of the plant. And then there were 3 Artemisia in here. I split them all into 2, and I thought I was going to plant 4. I ended up planting 3, and I think once they do pop again, this will be really pretty icy blue texture in here that will be very much appreciated. There were also a couple of sedums, like stone crop sedums, that were actually this type. There was one right here that I ended up pulling because I don't think you're going to miss it, and another one around the corner that you didn't see at all that I took. And I did take my favorite purple sedum that was right there. I kind of thought long and hard about that purple sedum. It is truly one of my favorite sedums I have, and I had intended to split it. I was looking at it and it was a little small. I don't really think it was worth splitting. And so I decided, since I was in the area, I was just going to take it because I would regret leaving it, especially because I don't know what variety it is. And I've actually bought 2 different varieties that I thought were it. Turns out they weren't. So since I don't know what it is, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it, I didn't want to have a regret about leaving it because it's truly my favorite sedum I have in this property, and I've got a number of them. So I took that out, and we ended up taking all those plants and the ones we took and the ones we actually popped out in the last video to the cottage. So they're going to be put in a holding area there. And potentially overwintered there depending on how things go. I still have some things that I need to pop out, particularly around this deck, because I think this deck is going to be started working on this week. If you missed it, I'm replacing it. Well, I'm redecking it. And I need to do some prep work around the sides so that they won't damage things, particularly of the things I want to take. So that will probably be the next video you see, me pulling those plants out. I'm not going to film the deck process because I'm not doing it. We've got a professional coming in to do it, but I'm sure you're going to see progress shots at the end of the day as I start moving other stuff out of this yard as well. think it's time for me to go in because it's just starting to sprinkle. But I really appreciate you joining me in this video. If you liked it, please consider subscribing and hit that thumbs up button. And I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye-bye.